Bitcoin is down, altcoins are absolutely bleeding, and there seems to be the common narrative that over the next couple of weeks and months, this is not going to get any better. It seems that the macroeconomics are really suppressing the markets, and that we're going to see a huge crash in crypto, in the financial markets. Now, before you guys completely freak out, let me tell you, this is not the end of the world. Fundamentally, this technology has not gotten worse suddenly, right? There's nothing that fundamentally explains why crypto is dropping right now. In fact, the technology is getting better by the day. And actually, during times like these, where a lot of investors are being, scared, when a lot of retailers are really scared and pulling out, is actually a big benefit for developers because they have less noise, right? They can focus more on building, and the developers are eventually what bring forth and would improve these protocols, right? So I think it's a net benefit for the technology when there's less noise, when there's less interest in trading crypto, less pressure from the community to deliver quick because everybody wants to have the news event so the coin price goes up. Is actually a net benefit from that angle. Also, what you have to always consider is that in bull runs, historically, things are massively overpriced, right? So when things go up, they usually tend to go up too fast, too quick, and things get very emotional. People get overexcited, and things just get overpriced. And the same is happening in bear markets, right? People panic sell in bear markets and they FOMO buy in bull markets. It's always been like that. It will always be like that. I'm already seeing videos on Twitter where people say, oh, I just sold all my Ethereum. I bought it at 26 cents at the ICO. I just sold all of it because of the Sharper ratio, because of this, because of macroeconomics, because of that. But developers and cryptocurrencies don't really care about that. They don't care about your emotions. What really matters in crypto is not timing the market, but it's time in the market, which means the longer you stay in the market, the more likely you'll get successful with your strategy, right? If you have a right strategy in place, which basically can only mean, okay, you just find a cryptocurrency that has strong fundamentals and you hold it, right? You hold it, you stack it, you compound it. But we'll get into some of the strategies in a second. Anyways, I think this is the big picture message that I want to spread is that, guys, nothing has changed fundamentally. In fact, things are getting better, especially when people are being washed out, when the FOMO greedy buyers are out of the market, things are actually better, right? It happened like this in 2018, 2019, beginning of 2020, where developers could really ship fundamental technology faster. Now, does that mean that Bitcoin can't go below $10,000? Of course not. Bitcoin can go below 10K anytime. Any cryptocurrency can always go to zero anytime. It's been my tagline on Twitter for nearly 2 years now, I think. And it's always like that. This is a very early, volatile, experimental industry. And you should be aware what you've signed up for. What you've signed up for is extreme volatility. It means that one day you can be crazy rich, another day you can be poor again, right? Low liquidity, low volumes, low interest, and it's just a lot of noise and a lot of hype around it. In fact, I asked my community on Twitter yesterday, what do you guys think, how low Bitcoin is going to go, right? Is it going to be at 30K? Is it going to be at 20K? Is it going to go below 10K? It seemed like $40,000 was a strong support. It has been hovering around this for weeks. And as I also said in this thread, of course, I'd love to see us making all-time high after all-time high every single day. I want us to go up only for the rest of our lives, but this is not how it goes, right? It's an extremely volatile and experimental industry that we're in. And again, you have to be aware what you sign up for, right? So just reading through some of the comments here, people are saying, I'm hoping 20K and under, but who knows? And for Atom, I'm waiting $10 and $5, but it doesn't give me a chance to buy those levels. Well, at least got some at 15. Another guy is saying 20K, pump coming soon. We'll get to 25K, 28K, 33K. I'm seeing a lot of like 20K level predictions here. And this guy's even drawing a chart that sends Bitcoin to all the way to $21,000. And then Jacob Gedikin gave a really good advice here. He said, I think 30K is the bottom, but live like we can go to 5K and just sit there for 6 months. This is the mentality you guys should have. You should always be prepared for a total market wipeout, for a total crash and doomsday scenario, right? At least mentally. at least mentally. Doesn't mean that we'll get this and that it's going to happen, but you have to be prepared that your portfolio is going to be underwater 80-90% for a couple of months at least. Another thing that he's also saying is that another indicator to see how low Bitcoin can go is to see how much it costs for Bitcoin miners to produce Bitcoin. And this one guy actually came up with 5,700 to 6,400 per Bitcoin is currently the cost, according to this post, 4 cents per kilowatt hour. So I don't know. These are some predictions here based on the Bitcoin mining ratio and cost of mining Bitcoin, basically. Another one, what I said also in this context is which levels Michael Saylor gets liquidated. I think it's in the 26, 27K, something like that, because he actually also borrowed money to go long on Bitcoin. And then he's just holding massive positions in Bitcoin, which I think right now he might even just be break even on that, or might already be in a loss on paper at least. But this guy bought so much Bitcoin that I think he wouldn't want to see Bitcoin fall a lot below that, right? So I think he would get really, really loud once we see Bitcoin crashing through levels where he would lose a lot of money on paper, which means he would technically be illiquid and insolvent. I also made this tweet asking, guys, markets are down, what's your game plan, right? Do you actually have a game plan? And I think a lot of people don't really have a game plan. And you see already similar finance coming out, building through the bear. Zaki saying, might be a good time to launch stablecoin strategy. What do you think, right? So this is what I mean. Developers now are doing things that no one really cares about. And this is the things that really are going to matter for the sustainability and for the health of a certain ecosystem, of a certain project, right? And I see a lot of cool stuff is being built in Cosmos, obviously. That's the ecosystem that I'm betting on. But just to see that these projects are even coming out on Twitter and saying, hey guys, what do you mean? We're just building through the bear. That's the coolest time. That's the happiest time we have, because we can actually focus and concentrate. We don't get too much pressure from the community. We don't get too much pressure, external noise, and, predictions from the community and from retailer and investors. So we can just focus on what really, really matters. So they're saying, don't look at your portfolio. There's also a way, if you are chilled with, potentially losing a lot of money on paper, then the best thing is probably just don't look at your portfolio. Just keep stacking your coins, compound it, log in every day and get more coins, increase your coin count. You don't even have to look in your portfolio and to get shocked every day you're losing so much money. Just don't look at it for a few weeks. Why not? DeFi Dummy is saying, hoarding and reinvesting LP and staking rewards, not selling any coins. To add cash for everyday living, I'm liquidating stablecoin liquidity pools for now. By the way, the stablecoin LPs were funded by harvesting during sunnier days. That's how I go through the cycles. Very smart strategy, very well done. This guy has been preparing. So either you have large cash positions on your bank account so that you can pay your bills, so that your daily life, and if you have a family, you don't have to compromise anything. You don't have to change your lifestyle. This is always the most important, so that crypto doesn't affect your daily life, your daily finances, your rent, or at least have some cash flow that you can generate and be liquid at least. People are just saying great technology will still be great no matter the markets. I'm chilled, dollar cost average buying, right? So people are at least not selling, or they're even buying. And they just focus on building, they just focus on learning, and they just focus on studying. And that's what I love about my community, about you guys, is that you really understand this, because there's a lot of people that don't understand this. There's a lot of people that are even new to the market that are already getting washed out by this little dump that we're having. And to be honest, Bitcoin at 33K is still pretty high. I remember Bitcoin was at 4 figures for a long time, for a couple of years. It was at $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for a long time. Ethereum was even at $86 in March of 2020. It dropped to below $100 a couple of times in 2019, 2018, if I recall correctly. Those are extremely low numbers, and you see now it dropped from 4,000 to 2,500, and people are freaking out. I'm like, guys, chill, right? What if in 5 years it drops from $16,840 to 8,200, which is over a 50% corrections. Are people still going to freak out about this? Maybe the ones that are joining the party late, the ones that are scared now, they're the ones that are being washed out right now, they're going to buy the peak again next cycle. So it's always the same thing. It's always the same game. Now, to wrap this video up, what is my game plan? What is my actual strategy during times like this? Well, if you look at the market right now, this is my watch list here with Cosmos coins. There's a lot of incredible discounts across the board. Atom below $15, Osmosis just above $3, with a halving, with third inning coming up. Sorry, in 5 weeks. Evmos is getting to levels where it's getting really, really interesting. Juno below $10, Persistence below $2, right? Region below 50 cents. Stargaze 5.7 cents. If you're not picking up these coins at these levels, and in a couple of months, at least one of them is going to 10x, you can't cry about it, because you're having the chance right now. And I see people that are selling right now that are really, really scared of the market. But if you're not buying these coins 80-90% below their all-time high, and you believe they have strong fundamentals, they have a strong community, product market fit, all these kind of things, you're just doing it wrong. And the thing is also, through DeFi, in 2017-18, we didn't have this, but through DeFi, for example, you can buy your Juno at $9.23, which is 80% below all-time high. It went to $45 a couple of months ago, actually 2 months ago. Now it's at $9. So buying something, you're buying the dollar at 20 cents, and then you cannot just hold that dollar, you can actually put that to work for you, which currently, according to Brown Bro Validator, is at 98%. Okay? And guys, this is just mind-blowing to be able to do that, right? So if you do that for a year, and we say in a year from now, Juno is still going to go down 50%, right? And you stake this thing for a year, and this is just APR without compounding it, without airdrop, you have room to fall below $4.60, right? To reach that level, and you would still be break even on that, right? So these are the things that I think make sense to consider the market from. If you think that Juno, for example, that's just one example, has strong fundamentals. Honestly, you could also just play it very safe, in my opinion at least. That's just my personal opinion, no financial advice, obviously. And just get Atom at $14.73. And if you look up on Mintscan what the current APRs are, you could already tell that a lot of people are unstaking because the inflation is going up to 11% nearly. Staking APR is at 17%, which means if you compound it and with the airdrops, I'm sure you can achieve way above 20%. So you even have more room here for this price to go down if you just stake and compound. And again, if you dollar cost average in and it keeps dropping another 50-60%, you just pick up more. And if you believe that one day this coin is going to reach an all-time high, you're already sitting on a comfortable 3x already, right? So literally Atom is a 3x away from its all-time high. Juno is a 4x away from its all-time high. So those are 3, 4, 5x's that you have right now. I mean, Osmosis is at $3, was it $12 almost? So there are a lot of, like, in my opinion at least, obvious 3 to 4x's, 3 to 5x's maybe even. And if with staking, with the airdrops, you're sitting on way more than that, right? It's always like this. Weekends always get shaken out during times like this. But my honest advice would be to now take the time and really study fundamentals, really analyze what do you think is going to still be around. Which projects are well funded, which projects have smart developers that I want to also bet on, that are still around, that are fully committed, right? And in my opinion, Cosmos, there's a lot of them, right? If you look at even the persistence ecosystem, if you look at Umi, if you even look at obviously Osmosis, Stargaze, Juno, Cosmos Hub, right? Terra. I mean, these things are not going to go away just because of a little shaky time in the markets. These things are going to be sticking around, and now is the time to accumulate more positions, to reaccumulate, increase your coin count, increase your stack, go all in with money that you can afford to lose if things get really, really nasty and ugly, which always can happen in crypto. But this is the risk you got to take in crypto. This is the risk I took in 2018, 2019, early 2020. And it played out really well for me. So yeah, place your bets accordingly. Don't get wiped out. Don't get too distracted with technical analysis. Don't get too distracted also with Sharper ratios and all these guys telling you that the macroeconomics is going to kill crypto. Yeah, it might still have a big impact on crypto in the next few weeks and months, but it's not going to kill it. And in fact, crypto is the first time in the human history that we're decoupling monetary value from the state, from the government, and actually from the whole economy, right? Because it's a sovereign financial system that we're building that is purely based in codes, algorithms, and cryptography and social constructs in the end of the day. So always keep these things in mind. Don't get too distracted. And yeah, I hope I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay safe and be good.